a landowner filed a court case against the boys in the village who came to wassail his orchard trees, and he complains and says, what a lot of rubbish that is. My trees will certainly not do better because of those noisy boys coming in, which I thought was hugely interesting. But it's the only case we know for certain that has happened. So the question is, how widely spread was it?
It also makes me wonder, because a lot of those superstitions were going out with the Reformation. I wonder, and it does seem like a much more pagan-y sort of thing to do.
Yeah.
I wonder whether it was done earlier and then went out of fashion with the Reformation, and that's why you don't hear about it in the mid-Tudor period at all. And then like maybe some people tried to bring it back, or any, like, it just seems like such an old pagan-y sort of thing to do.
I think what happened was that it was something again that was started at the top level. We know, for instance, Henry Matchin, famous diary keeper, he clearly describes the wassailing inside a friend's house.
Right.
So it was something that first took part inside posh households. And then I think we see people coming to beg for a bit of food, maybe a wassailing drink on that day to the house. And because it was meant to be open house, people allowed the commoners to come in, but then they were sent their way again. So I think this is where it could have started, that they were given a drink of wassail in a cup, which they possibly brought themselves, we don't really know, and then sent their way. Now, where would they go? They will go down the road singing and dancing, being a bit drunk. And where would you go? Orchards.
The orchard. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that we can still do a lot more research on that.
Yeah. So do you wassail then?
And I'm not so sure whether I'll do it this year now that I know that it wasn't, but we'll see. It depends on the weather. If it's very wet, I might say, nah. Yeah, we'll see. It depends on who's here as well. It's more fun if you do it with someone.
Right, of course. But just in general, like wassailing, not even necessarily wassailing the orchards, but wassailing.
Now, yes, yeah, I definitely make the wassail drink. However,
and what do you put in that? What's in your wassail? Yeah.
Until this year, I thought that it didn't matter whether it was ale or cider, but now I know a lot more. I now know that lamb's wool, which was a warm cider, spiced cider, was part of the ale drink that then became the wassail. Yeah. So lamb's wool is not the same as the wassail. It is an ingredient of the wassail drink.
Of the wassail.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, what other, I'm trying to think about the things that we covered. We talked about wassailing. And you've blown my mind with this, because everything I've read talked about wassailing the orchards. So like, I can't wait to see this research and all of that. That's my mind. I'm totally learning something new, and all the videos that I made on that are going to be out of date here pretty soon.
Yeah, I had to look into it because it forms part of my dissertation. So I thought I might, do that properly and do it now. Good time to do it. And I thought, wow, I think we have just clarified a few things here. So yeah.
I'm interested. It seems like such a, it seems like such a primal thing. And also like with the singing and stuff, like we've got the football match on in the back here. Man, is that Man City playing Man United? Anyway, just thinking about like the way football fans like sing and
Yeah,
it's like such a
yeah,
primal
yeah,
tribal thing, these football songs, and like just thinking about wassailing and you're out and you're drinking and you're singing. It just seems like something people would
yeah,
do, but maybe it wasn't formally called wassail.
yeah,
People just went out and
yeah,
sang, got
exactly,
tipsy.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. But it's just interesting to see that there is still so much out there that we haven't really looked into. We seem to have been very happy to just reuse the same information again and again, and nobody started to look really deep into these very nerdy things, that has to be admitted. But yeah, so I certainly will do a lot more research on that topic. That's not the last, but
Yeah.